K.LUKE rolling out with a limited release here at the end of the year. This is their Keenan Cabernet Barrel Finish. So this one is a blend of, again, high and low rye mash bills, as well as different aged whiskeys. It was finished in these Cabernet barrels for a year, utilizing French and American oak barrels. Definitely excited to get in this one, guys. Without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so as I stated, this was aged in those Keenan Cabernet barrels, utilizing the French and American oak for a year. So further into the glass on this one, I started to pull out a little bit of some coffee notes that are in there, as well as some really rich and deep kind of dark fruit. So I'm talking like some plums, some raisin, maybe even some dates further into the glass. Further away, nice kind of undertones of like some vanilla in there, but I'm also pulling out some spiciness there further away from the glass. Again, so further in, now that it's starting to open up a little bit more, those darker fruits are almost like they're sugar coated, like it's a sugar coated plum, a sugar coated like raisins, very dark and very rich on the nose. And again, there's that little bit of some coffee there that makes its appearance further into the glass. Maybe a slight little bit of some chocolate there. Further away, again, it gives me more of that spicy kind of character, as well as some of that darkness, just not as heavy and dense. Beautiful nose on this one. Let's get into the palate. Cheers. Wow, there's a lot going on the palate on this one. So, first sip, it comes off very interesting. So there's like these like deep dark kind of, again, like those like fig and some like raisins there on the front of the palate. Middle of the palate, I get a slight hint of some like milk chocolate. There's some like really dark honey in there as well. And then into the back of the palate, it does get a bit spicy. That's where a lot of that spiciness kind of appears. So it's like some white pepper kind of flows through into the back, but then some of those darker fruits are kind of slowly kind of integrating kind of in certain spots on the back of the palate. Has a medium to long finish, almost on that long side. That sip just continuing to kind of go down. I like the aftertaste of it as well. So it. Like after it kind of goes away, I start to pull out a little bit of some oaky notes, some like darker kind of oak there on like the middle of the palate. That's a beautiful first sip. Let's get a second one. Oh man, that is so good. So now, like these citrus notes just kind of stuck to the sides of my palate there. A little bit of some orange. Almost like a slight, it's not like a grapefruit, but something's very, very citrus forward there on that second sip. Still on the front of the palate, still a lot of that again, those like figs, some raisin on there, just very, very dark. It's sweet up front, hits the center of the palate. Some of that oakiness still kind of coming through. Slight little bit of some milk chocolate there. But then that citrus kind of attached itself to the sides of the palate. And then as it gets to the back palate and into the finish, those spicy kind of characters start to come through. It's that kind of dense oak there. There's like that white pepper. Some of that rye definitely making its influence there on the back of the palate, as it's offering a lot of some spiciness. And at that 120, 120 plus proof, you're going to get some of that spiciness, but this isn't more of that proof bite. It's more of like that spice bite. And that's a long finish on this one. I mean, that just continues to go down. This is something that I can really sit with like outside by a fire and just continue to drink this thing. This is a beautiful whiskey. Let's get the last sip, guys. Cheers. This thing is just continuing to evolve on the palate. On the front of the palate, you're still getting some of that those darker fruits. On the middle of the palate now, with like some of that little bit of orange there on the side, it's almost like some blackberries kind of making its appearance there. There's some of that dense oak. There's some of that milk chocolate. And then as it hits the back of the palate, again, you're still getting some of that oakiness. You're still getting some of that fruit. You're getting that white pepper. You're getting some of that rye influence. And it's like all these flavors on the back of the palate are just kind of like mingling together. And there's not something that's overly dominant. Sometimes when you age something for too long, sometimes it can become drying. This is far from drying. It's more of a mouth coating. Like nice kind of oiliness across the palate, and that's what's kind of keeping those flavors there, and I think that's what's keeping that finish just on and on and on. This is a long finish on this. This is an absolutely beautiful whiskey here by K.Luke. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to give a big shout out to the team over at K.Luke for supplying me with the sample here to review on the channel. Guys, I think I said it enough. This is an absolutely beautiful whiskey. This is something that will continue to evolve on the palate. Again, as I stated before, having a whiskey that is consistent is great, but having a whiskey that continuously evolves as you drink it, it just becomes exploratory, and it's really nice to kind of continue to find those flavors across the palate. This is an outstanding whiskey. This may be one of the best whiskeys I've had maybe all year. This is definitely in my top 10 whiskeys of the year so far. I'm going to continue to drink this down through the end of the year and see, kind of see what opens up, and if it can, be consistent with those evolving flavors, just continue to impress me in that way. But amazing job here, guys, by K.Luke. So if you're looking for more reviews like this, hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. Just find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Till next time, guys, stay dusty.